quickly to protect these interests. They've done that. On Friday, the government regulator in charge, the FDIC, took control of Silicon Valley Bank. We put in place tough requirements on banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, including the Dodd-Frank law to make sure that the crisis we saw in 2008 would not happen again. Unfortunately, the last administration rolled back some of these requirements. I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of bank failure would happen again, and to protect American jobs and small businesses. Look, the bottom line is this. Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe. Let me also assure you, we will not stop at this. We'll do whatever is needed.
Regulators miss that risk.
I would say that although the tech sector has been suffering from a downturn and has had some significant layoffs, the problems of this bank, from reporting about its situation, suggest that because we're in a higher interest rate environment, assets that it holds, many of which are treasury assets or mortgage-backed securities that are guaranteed by the government, lose market value. And the problems of the tech sector aren't at the heart of the problems of this bank.
You and I worked on this. You recall this. You were a board member. And we saw that we needed to have a better playing field to protect. And if you all go along with this, it could put many of our regional banks and small community banks out of business. So I want you to reverse this. First of all, tell me, am I speaking the truth? Are you all planning to all of a sudden here put these smaller and regional banks under the same heavy or financial load as your large worldwide banks? Tell me.
No, we're not planning that. We believe strongly and always have in tailoring to address the different size and risk characteristics of financial institutions, and certainly nothing like that for the regionals. They won't have anything like what the very large, most systemically important banks have in terms of overall regulation.
Yeah, but
We'll touch on how I made a mistake, of course, about thinking that Silicon Valley Bank was better than it was. I think that I relied on public figures, which indicated a lot of bank examiners, which indicated that things weren't as bad. That was wrong. Make a bad call, make a good call, but it was a bad call. Because you have to own up to anything you do wrong. I mean, any judgment. But I will spend a lot of time trying to figure out whether there isn't something to buy, because there is always a bull market somewhere.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. The New World Order book is going to show you how the world really works. And it's definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. I told you at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter of 2022, we was going to have an event that was going to bring us down. And then also in the fourth quarter, we would have an event that would bring us down. That's exactly what happened. And now I'm going to tell you, in the first quarter, we're going to have an event that's going to bring us down in 2023. And then also in the fourth quarter of 2023, we're going to have another main event. Now, of course, guys, the markets are still going to be pumping and dumping until they get ready to pull the full rug. But I'll let you know when that's about to happen. Now, also, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to get re-educated. And also, much love to those who donate to the Cash Shop and Patreon. And in my Patreon, I keep you up to date with the new Road Order events. Also, I give you the new Road Order cryptos in the Patreon. Of course, you have to do your own research. But this next bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure that you have the cryptos that have utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And guys, we have Bitcoin and crypto gets a pump after the Fed comes in. And also we see the stock market moving up. And the only thing we have to do is look at the indicators to see why. But we had Bitcoin get a 50,000 price flash on Binance. And guys, as soon as the Fed said that the funds were safe, we saw Bitcoin and cryptos pump. But guys, we know when it comes to Silicon Valley, crypto had nothing to do with it. I'm going to go over that later. But guys, we know Silicon Valley Bank tanked because it couldn't sell those securities. And we know Moody's gave them the downgrade because they knew what was about to happen. And we also know the CEO and the rest of the big wigs of Silicon Valley Bank knew, because the CEO sold stock 3 days before and made millions. And guys, I'm going to touch on SVB and Biden later on in this video. But guys, make sure you're paying attention to the actual indicators. We have yield rates have plummeted. And guys, I told you this at the end of last week and on this weekend. If yield rates plummet, we're going to be fine. And we have the 10-year yield drops 100 basis points. Worst 3-day drop since 1987. And guys, we know this is all manipulation. But if you understand manipulation, you can take advantage of it. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. And then we had the dollar also take a good drop. And we know that is great for the market. And as I'm doing this video, Bitcoin has hit 24,000. And we know the NWO makes money on whether it goes up or down. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now, guys, we have volume, tether, and USDC. And we have Binance will convert $1 billion worth of BUSD stablecoin to Bitcoin, Ether, BNB, and other tokens. And then, guys, we have the Fed. Repo sitting at $2.1 trillion. We know the central banks are raising rates and running off this balance sheet in order to destroy this legacy market so the fourth industrial revolution can rise. And we're seeing this done right in front of our eyes. Only thing they have to do is put a carrot out there and you quiet the masses. The Fed put the $25 billion out there to calm the market, the problem that they cause. The same thing with inflation. They're raising rates to tame inflation on the inflation that they cause. Remember, they cause a problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And guys, crypto is up 14%. And I told you last week, if rates stayed this low, we would get a slingshot up. And what is going on right now? The Fed is telegraphing everything they're doing because, guys, math does not lie. Everything is math. Guys, you can manipulate the numbers, but if you understand what they're doing, you're going to always stay lockstep with the central bank moves. Remember, guys, they want to destroy this legacy market. And you have to keep the people calm until you finish building. And the reason why I tell you have less than 24 months, because the technology is already there. The only thing they have to do is implement it slowly. And we're starting to see AI. We're starting to see automation of robots It's just implemented in phases. Now, we had IMF warn G20 that widespread crypto use would impact banks. And guys, we know crypto had nothing to do with this. We know SVB was buying treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, and because the higher interest rates, nobody wanted to touch them. So just imagine all these banks in the same position because they had free money and was enticed to buy these instruments. So guys, this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now guys, don't forget about Grayscale sending about $17.4 billion on Friday. And we have the court case with the SEC on the spot Bitcoin ETF. Don't forget about that. But getting over into a little crypto news. And guys, we have a lot of cryptos pumping right now. And Bitcoin has pumped over 18% and is not even in the top 20. That's how bad these altcoins are pumping right now. But we had Filecoin pump over 20% ahead of its FVM network upgrade. Now we have Silicon Valley Bank UK arm acquired by HSBC for £1. And guys, we know HSBC and these big banks are the biggest what? Yes, I'm going to let you finish that. But guys, we're going to clearly see a real life game of Monopoly. And I told you this again last week, guys. We're going to see big bank takes little bank. Now, I went over this last night in the video. Now, we had Brad Garlinghouse comes out and says Ripple did have exposure to SBV. But of course, guys, since the Fed has run in, it really doesn't matter. Also, we had David Schwartz of Ripple sends out a Jim Cramer tweet. And guys, he tweeted out about First Republic Bank, says, yes, that's a very good bank. And then it dropped 60%. And guys, that was just in 3 days. And we know he came out and stated that SVB Bank was a wonderful bank. And then lastly, guys, we had Grandpa Biden get out of bed early, did an early morning speech on the banks and asked, how did this happen? And talked about the rollbacks that Trump's administration did that him and Obama put in place. Now, guys, we heard from Janet Yellen, and she clearly told us how this happened. And this all came from the Fed's free money. And we have Congressman Scott previously, and I just did a video last week with Congress Scott speaking to Jerome Powell stating that they didn't want the regional banks and these smaller banks, community banks, under the same restrictions. And of course, Jerome Powell agreed. But guys, we know this is nothing but the Hegelian dialectic in order to get these smaller banks out the way. And we can clearly see this in crypto, where they want the big banks as the off-ramps when it comes to these CBDCs and also stable coins. They don't want these small banks anymore. These big banks want total control in the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. But guys, all I have for you, don't forget about the books. Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.